Hi, I'm Max Ball. I'm in product marketing here at 8x8. Next to me is Ernie Lopez, who's one of our best sales engineers. He's going to show us how our integration to Zendesk works. We at 8x8 we're really excited about this integration. With this, your contact center has so much power at your fingertips without a whole bunch of configuration, without a bunch of work. It's just a really exciting thing. So what we want to do is have Ernie show you what this thing can do, and everything he's about to show you is just what works out of the box. So Ernie, you want to talk to us about it a little bit?
Would love to. Yeah, we're really excited about the new integration we have working with them. So I'll be walking you through the Zendesk desktop and the virtual contact center integration with our little interface on the right hand side. So we'll take you away.
So here we have our Zendesk environment. You see me logged in as an agent. Right now I have the uncluttered view. I have in my regular dashboard. I have access to all of my different tabs. So I can go ahead and work like I normally would, just go ahead and processing tickets, solving those customer problems. So that's all helpful. I can go ahead and do all my work here. On the upper right, as Max mentioned, that we have here our application. So we have our little icon here, our 8x8 icon, which is not just a pretty icon, it's also an app. So if I click on that, it's going to expose our virtual contact center agent desktop. So the two living together as one in one little nice little interface. As Matt mentioned, Max mentioned, Zendesk has done a lot of work to kind of optimize their environment here, and so they said on the right-hand side is the most efficient. So they've done a lot of work on that. So we want to cohabitate with them how they want to work. So we put it on the right-hand side. All right. Notice that I'm right now when I initially log in as an agent, I'm on break, so everything's grayed out. So I can't really do any work because if I'm on break, then I'm on break. I shouldn't be working, right? Notice also the color of the icon. That'll be relevant in a bit. So it is gray right now because my screen is grayed out. Another thing I'm going to point out is that at any time, once I've gone ahead and made myself available, I can actually close this window. So if I need to do any work to expose any more of the desktop in the Zendesk environment, I can do that, and it doesn't affect my my call status. Okay, I'll go ahead and open it back up. You notice that I'm on, as I said, I'm on break. I've been sitting idle here for about 28 minutes. This guy's ready to go. So initially when you log in, you're going to get this on break status so that you can go ahead and get situated, get ready to go, and start taking those calls. As soon as they become available, I am now ready to take interactions and calls. Okay, you'll also notice that our avatar here, our icon changed to green. So even if I have this closed, I can confirm that I'm ready to take calls. So very helpful information passed along just by a color change. All right. So we've got here our agent desktop. On the towards the top here, we've got our queue views, and then at the bottom our agent views. So here I'm looking at all my different queue types. I've got a couple of inbound phone queues. I've got a chat queue, and I've got a voicemail queue. I have a visibility into all the different queues. I can see information such as how many people are busy in that queue. In other words, how many calls are in there. I can see how many people are actually in queue. So I see how many agents are busy. I can see how many callers are stacked up. I can see the longest wait time. So it's very efficient use of desktop space to really communicate that information to all my agents. So let's say I am working on a break. And here I've got a bunch of different statuses that are customizable. I can actually see, hey, maybe I want to kind of maybe take my break a little bit later or sooner because I can see that that maybe that queue is stacking up. So that is very, very helpful. It's very efficient. This is also a great, one thing I want to mention too is this is entirely browser-based, so really agents can be anywhere. So the nice thing about having this is like having a mini wallboard so you can communicate to all the teams, and they don't have to have a special application running in the background in your call center. You can have agents working from anywhere. Okay, so we have all the different media types we can route. You can see the status of others. Again, it's great for distributed teams. Down at the bottom, I have my agents. So every agent has the ability to see other agents that are in the same queue. So I can see myself, this particular agent's Dan, and he's been ready to go for about 2 minutes. He's been in the status available. That little check mark means I'm ready to take interactions. You know, note the color is reflecting what my status is on my screen. And I also see another agent that's logged in, and this guy is working offline. So he's logged in. He's a butt in seat. He's ready to take. He's working, but maybe not taking interactions. So that's why that's showing that little icon. But I can see that again from anywhere. Close that up. All right. So let's go ahead and route a call and see what that looks like from an agent perspective. So I'm going to go ahead and queue one up.
Please enter your queue selection.
So all of this media, the messaging is totally customizable for your call center. And I've got just a basic IVR here. I'm going to go ahead and select my sales queue. Momentarily, the interaction is going to be offered. So I hear jazzy hold music as I'm on hold, and the interaction is offered to me. I can go ahead and accept that interaction. In this case, it's a phone call. I just simply by lifting up my handset. We do support soft phone functionality, so if you have that, but really any telephony endpoint, whether it's 8x8 or something that you already have today in-house, will work with our service. Okay, a lot of stuff happened here automatically that I didn't have to do. You'll notice immediately my status changed to busy. Note the color changed. It's now changed to yellow, and that color code is going to carry over to some reporting, which I'll cover in a bit. Immediately, you'll notice that the phone tab popped to center stage. So this tab here is specifically for call controlling. Sorry, I need to mute that and get an echo. So I've got the call came forward, and I have some transaction information, so it's very helpful for agents. So I can see the caller ID of the person that called me, obviously, in my agent window. I've got the channel that they dialed, so oftentimes that can be helpful. I know how that person reached me, what number they dialed, so that'll also show up in our reporting. Very helpful. And I also see what queue they hit. So if I have agents that are managing different queues, I don't have to look anywhere else but rather than the transaction window to see what queue I happen to be, how they got to me. So I know if I support different products or different services, I can answer them accordingly, right? And then I've got wait time, so I know exactly how long that person waited. 8 seconds, not bad, not too shabby. And then there's a transaction ID that gets stamped on there for reporting purposes. So that's all in our little application. Another bit of magic that happened here is we passed over the caller ID information over to Zendesk. So immediately it found that this person has called before, and we worked with them on other issues. So you see in the history here lots of calls. Apparently this person doesn't sleep because we've got a lot of calls from very early in the morning until very late at night. Also, I'm pulling up any relevant records. These are probably tickets that have already been opened on that person's behalf. And so from here, I can go ahead and see the email address that's associated with this caller ID, and all that information gets passed along to me. So super efficient, right? All right. Go back over to the agent desktop. Again, all of this control I can just do. When I'm done with the call, I can just simply hang up. But I have additional controls available to me through this interface, which is great. I can mute the call. I can put the call on hold. I can end the call, all through this tab here. We do offer call recording, which is completely customizable percentage-wise, as far as you can record based on queues, channels, agents. You can say, as an example, you can do 100% recording for a new agent, but maybe only 50% recording for that queue. At any time, because we are HIPAA and PCI compliant, if you do need to pause that recording for any reason, we can actually allow your agents to do that. So that's something you can pause the recording and initiate recording. If the call is not already being recorded, you can start it, and that is something you can customize permission-wise per agent. Okay, at the conclusion of my call, caller is happy. I'm going to go ahead and hang that up. And then automatically, I'm going to be placed in a post-processing state. the state is totally customizable. We can set it to anywhere from, in other words, your wrap-up time. I can set that anywhere from 5 seconds to completely manual. So immediately upon ending the call, this post-processing time, that wrap-up time is ticking away, allowing that agent to add any valid notes, any information that they need to pass along onto the ticket. And if I'm especially efficient, I can go ahead and end that post-processing time at any time. So I can be ready for that next caller immediately. So now I'm available and ready to take another interaction. Okay, so now since I've ended the call and I'm done with that, another record automatically gets placed in Zendesk automatically. So the caller ID gets passed over to Zendesk. It creates a little event, and in this case, we're choosing to close that ticket immediately. So the incident, hopefully we've resolved that issue, but we're also creating the timestamp for reporting later in Zendesk. So I've got the answer time, hang-up time, duration, transaction ID, again, that was passed over from the caller ID information in our little application, and a little bit more coding that's helpful for troubleshooting later, and you can see that it was an inbound call. So pretty nice information. If I'm done with that, I can go ahead and close that, and I'm ready to take another call. We're ready to go. Let's see, anything I didn't cover? I think that's all my notes there. I know you guys can't talk back to me, so I'm just going to assume everything was clear as mud. All right, so that's the agent side of things. I'll mention a couple little things about the tabs here. So I've got my phone tab. Obviously, that popped up when I was in the call. I have the ability to chat. I can chat to inbound callers. I can also chat with other agents. Sometimes that's helpful. If I need help from a supervisor, I can go ahead and select them. So Joe happens to be a supervisor in this queue, and if I want to go ahead and chat him up, I simply click on him and I say, I can call him. I can start a chat session. So again, this is my supervisors and agents can be in completely different locations. All right, let's take a look at the supervisor side of things. I'm going to be doing a little trickery since I want to keep this brief. And I'm just going to pull up my supervisor. Supervisor should look exactly the same as our regular agent with just a couple of extra features, and that namely is the queue management, agent management, and reporting function. So the nice part of having the interface right about the same is that it's a simple learning curve whenever you promote someone to become an agent. So I have the same type of views. I can go in to look at specific queues. I can see this view here is showing all the queues grayed out because I'm not actually logged in, but I still have visibility into those queues. So let's check on a specific agent. Let's say I want to do some queue management. So I can go ahead and pick on one. Let me minimize the Zendesk for a moment. Bring my supervisor up to the front. So if I want to pick on, say, the support queue, I can simply click on that, and let's start monitoring. It's going to bring up a new tab, which I will bring to the window. There we go. So here's our monitoring tab. You'll notice right away, since I picked the support tab, I'm seeing the list of agents that are in that queue. I can see their statuses. I can see their skill level. I can see how long they've been in the queue. And if I want to see also, if drill down, say, a little bit more on a specific agent, I can simply click on them and do so. So click on Dan here. I can see that right now really not much going on. He's not actually busy, so let's go ahead and send him another interaction.
So Ernie, how many of your agents do work for the San Jose Sharks?
It's, there's an off season, so sometimes they got to stay busy. Some guys work out, some guys do sports, some guys monitor call centers.
Yeah, nothing helps with your wrist reflexes better than a couple of good calls in the contact center.
Exactly. Okay, so we've got a call going on. And so now we should actually see that this guy is actually doing some work. So Dan is now on a call. He's been on a call for 6 minutes. So now if I want to do some fun stuff, I can go ahead and check a status. I even have the ability to log them out of the queues if I need to. All right. So closing that up, I now have the overall monitoring view of all my support centers. Like here, I'm able to monitor SLAs. I can see how I'm meeting those targets that I've set threshold-wise. In this particular queue, I'm in 100% adherence. I've got 80% of my interactions answered within, I believe my threshold is 90 seconds. Sorry, 30 seconds. And so far so good. 30 seconds wait limit, average processing time. So all at a quick glance, I have all that information at my fingertips. I can look back real-time monitoring the last 30 minutes of the day. Maybe I'm just really concerned with how from the last 30 minutes, or if I want to look at the entire day, I can do that. If I'm drilling down on a specific queue, I can obviously see the agents that are in there. Let's say if I want to do some quality control and look at the specific agents. Here I have my agents agent view. I can look at what they've been doing for the last last 30 minutes. So remember those color codes that we were looking at before, the working offline or busy or idle. All that is reflected kind of at a quick glance, just simply by the color status change. The other thing I can do from here is also play back call recordings. So all those call recordings are easy to retrieve with all the queue, contact information, start time, duration, etc. And then once I select that specific recording, I can actually play it again through the browser. So it's super handy to be able to do that without having to install anything fancy. It's all going to play in my native sound player. All right. Last but not least, the other functionality that a queue manager has or supervisor is reporting. So I've got a lot of canned reports in the system that I can access really from anywhere, simply by going into the menu tab. We have a whole host of canned reports. We can look at abandon rates. We can do cradle to grave reporting. What time the agent got into the queue, when they ended the transaction, how long they were on hold, if they dropped the call, at how many seconds, a whole slew of reporting, which is extremely helpful. Last thing I can show you here is our cool new wallboard application. This you can run in a, it's a browser window, but you can customize all these stats and even change colors if you're not meeting certain thresholds. So here I've got a couple of abandoned calls, and so the color changed to red. I can even have it play notification sound to kind of alert me to certain status messages. So certainly kind of a quick overview of the whole interface. Hopefully it piqued some of your interest, and we can do a deeper dive if you guys find this an interesting application.
All right, I hope you enjoyed our contact center integration demo with Zendesk and Virtual Contact Center from 8x8. We are really excited about the possibilities with this type of integration, and just hopefully it's something that resonates with you and you'll want to learn more. Thanks.